gonna isolate it to one.
Yeah, please.
That's a big ask.
I don't have a phone. I do
Really?
too. Yeah,
You don't have a phone?
no,
Oh, my God.
we share a phone.
Thank you.
I cannot.
You're
stand-
gonna, I know you're gonna be swamped. This is pretty soon. It's why how you.
I don't,
To UK.
I don't think Gina should start it.
You don't even get cat.
Look,
Cat pay.
how do I deal with that?
Well,
Don't worry about it. Let's not do
It's
that
like a
again.
cop. cat.
Hey, Gina, can you hear us?
Busters on the street.
I can.
Oh, my God.
Are we recording?
It says that it's automatically recording
like
and
it's recording.
transcription once the meeting starts. That's new. I haven't seen that before, but if you want, I can try to turn it off.
Yeah, it says recording started automatically per the meeting organizer's settings. That's
I can
fine.
stop it if you'd like
Why is that so
until it
quiet?
starts.
Is your volume down?
Yeah, read that.
Oh yeah, let me turn my camera.
You sell your house. No, no.
Hang on, Gina, we can't hear you very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
See if she.
Hey, can you say something again, Gina?
I can stop the recording if you want until you get started.
Let's, will that screw things up for when we need to post it on YouTube?
It might.
Let's not
It
worry
will-
about it.
It will have recorded this
for-
small portion
Yeah,
and then
it's
it'll send it all to the, yeah.
Let's just keep it the way it is, but let's change that setting so it's not recording automatically when we start the meeting in the
Sure.
future.
If I can, yeah,
Okay.
I will.
Thank you. All right, we're almost ready to get started, but then we're gonna wait because the applicant is running about 10 minutes late. But we have to get started in case anyone from the public comes to our online meeting because they wouldn't.
Well, no one's here now.
No one is here now, it's true. So, so Gina, we're just gonna hang tight for 10 minutes until the applicant comes. But let's leave let's leave this on.
What?
So that if anyone does show up, we can tell them what's going on.
I can get you a copy if you want to.
Okay.
I can put it on the
Sit
screen.
around. I'm from the planning commission. Can I just give you what we had? They can read it at least. And I can talk to it later.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're just gonna sit around, you might as well read.
I think that's fine.
Do we have it? Should I put it on the screen? Is it
You
submitted
have-
electronically yet or?
I do, but I have to email it to you.
Oh, you haven't yet. Okay.
When you get a chance, please email.
I brought my computer.
Um, You can send it to, let me know when you're ready.
For sure it's that, right? Yeah. This one.
All right, I'm ready.
It's Act 250 dot Springfield at Vermont, just spelled out, .gov.
I'm sorry, I must have missed. Why are we waiting? They didn't show up to the first meeting. Why are we waiting for this?
So there was some miscommunication. And they didn't realize that the first meeting was at 9. But Dan is on his way. The applicant is on his way. He's running about.
But he knew about this 10:30 meeting.
Yes.
And he's still late.
That was my fault. He hit 2 accidents on 91. that were unexpected.
And the 9 o'clock was your fault?
That was my fault. I was reading the hearing time, which only showed the 10:30 hearing. And not the, thanks. Apologies for that.
So if you do other hearings, you should always know that there's almost always a site visit with a hearing.
I knew there was a site visit. I thought we were meeting, when I looked at the sign and it only had the 10:30, I thought we were meeting here for going over there.
The sign-
So the site visits almost always happen first, just so you know in the future when you're looking at it, it's,
That's
yeah,
been 7 years since I've done my one and only one.
yeah. So I'm just telling you, if you do more in the future, site visit first, because then the commission can talk about what they've seen.
Got any big plans for them? Carolyn?
We do.
Where you come?
Well, we have a grandchild coming.
Sister first?
Yeah. Did you know we had 2 weddings within 2 months
I
this
did
summer?
I did not.
Within 2 months.
Oh, yeah?
The GoFundMe page is still.
We are, it's totally fine, just so you know, we are, no one
Oh,
came, but we are recording, and everything you say will get posted to YouTube.
Oh, my God. Well.
That's exciting stuff.
But congratulations.
So yeah, so we're going down to Wilmington to see Molly.
Like Delaware, Wilmington.
No.
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Wow.
And then they wanted a family vacation, so we're on the Caribbean.
Molly said, well, while I'm on maternity leave, let's go someplace. I said, your baby's gonna be a baby. She goes, well, who cares?
You'll care when you get there.
She was a little upset that there wasn't enough time to get the kid a passport. So we have to go to a US territory.
So. You can't get a passport. for
No
someone
lie,
who-
this is my daughter.
Someone who doesn't exist yet, you can't really get a passport for.
Right, and when the baby's born
Company's here.
Sorry, I'm
in February,
And I have to apologize to you.
we're going away in April, and she goes, that's not enough time to get-" I said, that's not enough time to get a passport.
Oh.
She goes, well, what if we just go and get a passport
Okay.
right after?
I'm
So,
sorry,
Dan,
they already had the meeting.
If you don't mind, would you mind signing in on this sheet, and we're gonna get ready to get started.
You can get a passport immediately if you.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Right here?
There's only like 13 in the country. I
You
know,
can just write applicant.
and you can literally go get a passport like that moment.
If you have one.
You have to get an appointment. They're hard to get.
You can leave
And
it
then,
blank, it's okay.
You have to go there in person.
She
and
goes,
all your
US
documentation.
territory. We're going to St. Thomas, but she just doesn't even know what a new baby would be like.
No,
She has
all right.
no idea, right?
right, she'll learn.
She'll learn, right?
I think she's thinking grandma's gonna be there. Grandpa,
I'm not
pick
gonna be
up
on,
some of the slack.
I'm not gonna be on the plane with her.
Well, congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and send me that GoFundMe link. I'll make sure I don't. Just hold your breath, okay?
All right. Have a seat, we're gonna get started.
Okay, where would you like me to sit?
Anywhere you like.
Okay.
Small enough room. Ready for you?
Ready?
Okay. Today is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, and we are the District 3 Environmental Commission meeting in Royalton, Vermont to conduct a hearing/pre-hearing conference on the application 3W1131 filed by Self Storage New England for the construction of 8 storage buildings with 18 units in each building. The project is located on a 2-acre tract located at 705 Waterman Road in Royalton, Vermont. My name is Cheryl Harvey. I'm the chairman of District 3 Commission. I reside in Rochester, Vermont. My fellow commissioners here are Suzanne Butterfield of Stockbridge and Rod McClay of Stratford. One thing I'd like to ask you to do is if you silence your phones during the hearing, would be very much appreciated. In accordance with 1 VSA 312 Vermont Open Meeting Law, I confirm that we have taken the following steps. We are providing public access to the meeting by online video conference with additional access offered through telephone. Is there anyone on the telephone? Nope, no. We are using Microsoft Team platform form for this hybrid meeting. All the members of the commission have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during the meeting, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen, and if desired, participants in this meeting by attending in person, downloading the Microsoft Team application, or by calling the toll-free number provided on the meeting notice. And if anybody, here's a copy of the meeting notice. In addition, we have provided public notice of instructions for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public for the necessary information in accessing this meeting, including how to access the meeting using telephone or Microsoft Teams in our meeting notice. That document includes those instructions have been available at public notice hearing on the Act 250 database online. If you're having trouble with the Teams on your computer, do we need to go through this thing? Nobody is on the phone, Pete?
Hang on a sec. I think. Oh, let's see.
No.
Let me see.
This number 3, seeing no one is on the phone or,
Yeah, let's skip that.
okay,
And let's skip that.
okay, so we just get, and some other housekeeping. This meeting is subject to Vermont's open meeting law. By participating, you are consenting to being audio and visually recorded, and for that recording to be published on the board's online database and or the YouTube channel. In addition, any written information or exhibits provided to Commission or Act 250 staff regarding official state business are considered public record and will become part of a permanent record to be published on the board's online database. The chat function has been disabled in the Teams meeting. Now, do we need to go through this thing? No one is on there talking about the background noise and things. Did you have to say it? Okay.
Oh,
This hearing is being
yeah,
recorded.
you could skip that. You could skip
Okay.
that.
And this
You could
also,
skip
the
5.
process, go through all these.
Yeah, you could skip 5, skip 6, and skip 7 for now.
Okay, what we're skipping is because there's no one online. I'm not going to have to review those right now. But attendance, let's start the meeting and take a roll call attendance of all the people participating in the meeting. If there's anyone here in this room that's not yet signed in by using the sign-up sheet, everyone, I think I've witnessed that too, so I think we're good with that. So,
Do you want to read the,
okay, let's try. Representative of Planning Commission, you want to introduce yourself, please?
I'm Gio Honeyford. I'm the chair of the planning commission.
Okay, and the abutting landowners,
Bonnie Gunville.
Stuart Dumbo, Charles,
and from Du Bois and King,
Chris Rivet.
and the applicant.
I'm DeAndre, owner of the self-storage one.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay. Now, this is the coordinator, Peter Costco.
we don't have to
You don't have to do that?
We don't have to do that next paragraph.
We have to go down to the important.
Yep.
Okay, now, this is regarding, participants are reminded that all,
Let's do it.
we don't have to do that?
Yeah, you can just read that first paragraph.
Okay, conflict of interest. The commissioners have reviewed all the materials submitted for this application, in part with an eye toward identifying any conflict of interest that the commissioners might have. We're not aware of any conflict of interest that need to be disclosed at this time. Is that correct, Susan?
Mhm.
Rod, that's correct? Yeah, and that goes for me as well.
Skip that.
Okay, does anyone have any concerns with the commissioners that will be reviewing? Problems with any of this?
Not yet.
No. Okay, so ex parte communication. Outside of today's proceedings, may I remind everyone that all communication, whether by letter, email, person, or in person, must follow through Peter Costco, the district coordinator, and not through the party of the commissioner members. So he's the man that you contact. Now, this is administering the oath. I'm now going to ask everyone who thinks that they might address the commission during this hearing to swear or affirm that they will tell the truth. Accordingly, everyone who expects to address us, please raise your right hand. Okay, now, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence that you shall provide relate to the consideration of this application to be truthful, accurate, and complete under the pains and penalties of perjury? If so, answer I do.
I do.
Thank you. In a few minutes, we're going to ask the applicant to give us an overall view of what is being applied for, but first, we'd like to make some comments on party status and the process of participating in this hearing. The commissioner charges to collect the evidence as to whether the project meets the requirements of Act 250. Based upon the evidence, we decided to either issue a permit with or without conditions or deny a permit. We gather the evidence in order to make an informed decision. This hearing today is part of the process to collect the evidence. You might want to participate in this proceedings as a party. Party status is outlined in the Act 250 statutes. It's important mainly for two reasons. First, the party may introduce evidence, bringing in experts and other witnesses to testify, and may take in arguments. Second, only a party or someone who has been not denied party status may appeal the decision to the environmental court. Party status is decided on an issue-by-issue basis. Act 250 is organized around 32 criteria and sub-criteria. Therefore, when it's your turn, please identify yourself, where your property is located, or your position, and identify each Act 250 criteria under which you believe the project will adversely affect you or your property. Then explain how you think that the project will have specific impacts on you under each of the specific criteria. The commission will make party status determinations on a preliminary basis so that we can organize the hearing. Sometimes after we hear all the testimony, we determine that that while it appears at first that someone may have party status under the specific Act 250 criteria, ultimately they do not prove or document an impact under the criterion. We will make final party status determination when we issue the final decision. There are three major categories in which a person may participate in the Act 250 proceeding. First, the Vermont legislature has determined that certain persons or entities have the right under Vermont statute to participate as a party. We refer to those persons as parties by right or statutory parties. The state of Vermont and all of its agencies, town select boards, municipal planning commissions, and regional planning commissions are party by right. Second, any person may also be admitted as a party if they can show a particular interest unique to them that might be affected by the project and demonstrate that their interest is related to any of the Act 250 criteria. Those who are admitted as a party will have the right to appeal the commission's decision. Finally, even if you do not qualify as a party in the proceedings, the commission may allow you to participate as a friend of the commission. If you're able to offer the commission certain information that might not otherwise be available to us. For example, if you're an attorney, an engineer, or scientist with specialized knowledge that might inform the proceeding. Within the discretion of the commission, your participation may be limited. Friends of the commission do not have the appeal right to appeal the commission's decision. Please note that no one is requested. Well, please note that no one is requested to seek party status or friends of the commission status. Some neighbors might just want to be here to listen and be informed in the project. So you're all welcome in this hearing room. Does anyone have any questions at this point? Okay, we're going right along here. For the record, the commission visited the site earlier today where we reviewed the site plans, walked around the property and observed these things. The existing storage building structure and reviewed page 4 of the Du Bois and King plans that's listed as the proposed conditions. We also observed the proximity of Interstate 89 and also reviewed the property of the abutting property owners. Is there anything else you folks want to add, Suzanne or Rod? Okay. Before we proceed with the merits of the hearing, does anyone have any questions about this so far? Okay, next we ask the applicant to present an overall view of the project in brief, keeping in mind that the commission has read the application and the exhibits. Please briefly explain how the project addresses all Act 250 criterion except the following criteria which have been contested and will be addressed later in the hearing. Those criteria are criteria 1B and 4 relating to stormwater, criteria 8 related to scenic beauty, and criteria 10 related to the conformance with the town plan. So we will now consider requests from individuals or organizations who are seeking party status or other participants' rights and determinations under the criteria. They may be preliminary admitted. If you'd like to request party status in this matter, please raise your hand. So the town is automatically, the planning commission is automatically by party, right? And the neighbors,
If they have to request it.
they have to request it and you
Yeah.
request it?
Kind of went over, but do you want to give the applicant the chance to give that brief introduction?
Okay, maybe I skipped that and I apologize for that.
Okay. Yeah.
But let's go back to that. You give us
Good
an
morning.
overview.
My name's Dan Reed. I'm owner of Self Storage New England. Located in South Royalton. We currently operate 4 buildings with a total of 64 units. We are seeking approval for phase 1 of our expansion, which includes 4 additional buildings with 18 units each for a total of 72 new units, adding to the existing operation. This expansion is being developed on already disturbed or previously evaluated land. There are no wetlands on or near the project area, and our state stormwater permit has already been approved. The project is designed to fully comply with Act 250 criteria, with particular emphasis on stormwater management, erosion control, minimizing visual impacts, and maintaining, the low impact nature of the facility. Operationally, the expansion will not significantly increase traffic, noise, or public service demand. The project is consistent with the region's demonstrated need for additional storage, as well as the town's land use planning. We appreciate the commission's time and are prepared to address any questions. Obviously, anything technical, I'll defer to my engineer, Chris Rhoda.
So now go into the part where you were at. 4, we will now consider.
Okay. I'm going to repeat here just to keep everything in line. We will now consider requests from individuals or organizations seeking party status or other participants' rights and determine under this criteria they may be preliminary admitted. If you'd like to request party status in this matter, raise your hand, which we've gone through that, but we have to go in the order. Okay, thank you. So
if you don't mind, so.
Yes, please go ahead.
Gio, you're a statutory party, so you don't need to make a showing here. So you guys.
So I'll have to raise my hand, so like you're saying.
You can raise your hand or not,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Technically correct.
But you are covered by the
Yeah.
statutory party,
Mhm.
rule. So, for you guys, now it's your turn to, introduce yourselves, and explain, um, um, for the record, again, we were at the site visit this morning, but that wasn't on the record. So this is on the record. So you need to, again, explain where, your property, your house and property is in relation to the project and what your concerns are and how they relate to the Act 250 criteria.
Stuart Dumbbell.
If you want party status.
Yes, I do.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
We're budding landowners, direct budding landowners, and also across the road landowners. We're objection on criteria 8 for visual aesthetics. Sorry, I didn't.
How would that affect you and your property?
We, across the road, have a piece of property. We own 69 acres and it's current use and also Vermont Land Trust. But we have a 10-acre lot up there that would be directly looking down onto the historic buildings, the proposed new historic buildings.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Are you looking for joint party status, right? So both of you
Yes.
for the same reason?
Yeah.
Yeah, same opinion.
All right. And then it's not really in the script, so any
Please.
objection
What they're saying?
to them becoming parties, having party status under criterion 8 to participate in the hearing? And
You'd have to explain that to me a little more, like, what does that mean exactly? What, does that give them the ability to,
that gives them the ability to participate in this and appeal the decision if they don't agree with it. And the test is, did they demonstrate that they have a interest in the outcome of the hearing based on what they just described? So,
in my opinion, no. But I mean, it's,
Okay.
we have very conflicting interests. So I don't know,
Okay.
I don't know any other way to answer that question.
okay. So, all right. So you oppose, and you had your hand up.
I did. So I can talk? I have a question.
So you can ask a question. So we're not going to, right now, what the commission's gonna do is make a determination whether or not to grant you preliminary party status. So, so you got a question about the process or an argument about why you think you should have party status. And then we'll talk about aesthetics and aesthetic impacts later.
Okay, all right, I want later, I guess,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so at this.
but I
point-
do want party status here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at this point, what we'll do is we will take a brief recess. And I think since I think the four of us should step out and consider the request for party status and the objection. And then we'll shuffle back in and we'll give you the commission's preliminary determination. Okay? I don't even think we need to take, I don't think it'll take very long. So let's just go ahead.
Keyword shuffle.
Shuffle out.
I didn't know who you are when I walked in. Yeah, we talked a couple times.
Oh.
You okay?
Yes, it's just.
Oh.
Careful, there's a power cord. Back up, come back in.
It didn't affect her.
No, it pulled out,
No.
saves itself.
No.
No. Not that.
criteria 10. I forgot what he said about that. Yeah. You swim in the pond, Lucas?
Yeah, well, we did, yeah.
Oh, I had another question. Nothing. But who has the huge spotlight on
You know exactly what one it is.
Are you kidding me? My whole side of my house is lit up. It's the
Rob
top of
Karen
the
made us
neighborhood.
shut off all his lights in his house at night. He doesn't even need the night light anymore.
So I have, it's a guy named Joseph Potlin. He bought, the land right, across the road from me. Nice guy. And I brought it to his attention that everybody is complaining.
Oh.
And he says he's going to address it. Hasn't yet. But it sits, the light sits on a Green Mountain pole. So
Right.
it's not like he can only have Green Mountain do the work. So it's not like, Green Mountain.
Go
I
ahead.
get confused.
Yeah.
But it's only Green Mountain can go up there and do it.
Sorry about
He
that.
works,
Oh, no, I
they
didn't
do, we haven't
even-
scheduled the work.
There you go.
Whatever.
And he was very apologetic.
You said you
Realized
live
it was
in
so
Bonn?
disruptive.
No,
He says he's gonna do
I live
something.
in Fiji. I live in Fiji, but my daughter goes to school in
It's
London.
crazy.
Oh,
I knew Rob had.
How old
it
is
was
he?
affected.
8.
Right.
They can see it across.
Third grade.
Oh, I bet. It is big.
Okay, let's, start again. So we've discussed, and the neighbors, we are going to give you preliminary party status in talking about criterion 8, which relates to the scenic beauty.
Thank you.
So now we're on 5.
We're on 5.
At this
Okay,
point, the commission
Commission,
will
okay.
accept testimony on the following criteria.
yes,
And
on,
it's- and it's 1B48.
yes. So now we will,
You have more than that though.
Oh.
And A&Rs.
Yeah, so let's add,
I think it's 1B4, 1G8, 9B, 9L, and 10.
G.
okay, what did you, do you want to say that again, please?
Sure.
1B?
1B4, 1G8, 9B, 9L, and 10. And those come from the additions of the statutory parties that comment.
Oh,
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
I'm
so,
gonna write it down for you. Hang on. I can't write in a way that people can read. I'm trying really hard.
okay, okay,
We're gonna, at this point, the commission will accept testimony on the following criteria.
which is 1B, 4, 1G, 8, 9B, 9L, and 10.
Okay, and now, turn it over to,
You gentlemen have you have, we wanted to know about, and maybe it's our end, is to get the Du Bois and King's page 4, the proposed condition that is in the application up on the screen.
I am gonna do that.
Okay, that will help
Oh,
give
you
us
can do
reference.
That's better than the easel.
Yeah, we'll put it up there because that's part of the application.
Hey, I'm
That
pretty
would-
sure this is gonna happen.
I can hold it too.
I don't know if anybody needs it.
So I think that I'm not a presenter. Yeah,
But yeah, I can make it.
why am I not able to share my screen?
Yeah, I don't know.
Phone them to Pete.
Or can you go to the database and get the application?
I have it. It just, I'll just move it over. If there's no one online.
Okay,
Have it here as well. See that?
I thought maybe I could get in and do it, but I can't be in it. It's,
Okay, so this is exhibit 4, right? This is what you want?
want the Du Bois and King plans, page 4 of their plans.
Oh.
That's that's one of the,
All right, so just tell me which exhibit.
okay, let's see.
I'll
You
write
could,
that.
the fourth one down, plan set.
No, that's the buildings.
That is the building.
That's the building. plan
Okay.
set.
No,
It's
Oh.
number 5.
Exhibit 5?
okay. And scroll down to page 4. This is the, right here. This is the proposed conditions. That's correct. The name of the sheet is,
Yes.
Yeah.
proposed conditions. Yeah,
Yeah.
because page 3 is the existing.
Do you want me to make it smaller so it all fits, or that's too small?
that's good. I think that's good.
Okay.
It's a pretty big screen. Okay. Go ahead. So, 1B and 4. So it's your burden. So,
Yep.
we'll be looking for your testimony on those criteria that we just listed. These are all the criteria that have come up as issues or potential issues on the application. So it's 1B, and I always combine 1B and 4 with relation to stormwater.
1B is in relation to stormwater.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 1G, 8. 1G is wetlands, 8 is aesthetics.
Yep.
9B is prime soils, 9L is scattered development,
Mhm.
and 10 is conformance with the town and regional plan, but
You want me to sit or stand?
however you're
Matter.
most comfortable.
Whatever you feel most comfortable with.
All right, sure, I can stand. So in relation to criteria 1B, I assume the objection was from DEC.
It was a
And-
comment.
the comment from
The
DEC.
comments from DEC.
Yes, I have spoken with Bryce McKim of the construction stormwater. And we will apply for the construction stormwater. It has not been, when Dan and I had been talking about this project, the overall may be the 8 buildings, but his sole focus right now is on the first 4 on the north side. And that's what I was considering, which is actually less than an acre of disturbance. And in my mind at that point, did not meet it. After, reading and talking with Bryce yesterday, it's come to our attention that we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll put that application in soon.
Any questions
So that
about?
hasn't been addressed yet?
Not yet. This, based on the risk of the stormwater erosion, the risk analysis I've already looked into, and it appears like it will be a low risk, based on what we know of the site and what disturbance we're actually doing and what mitigation tools we have at our disposal for any stormwater runoff during construction.
Yeah, what's on the screen right now is a copy of
Yes.
comments that we received yesterday from A&R. And the criteria 1B is which we're addressing right now from Bryce McKim, who this gentleman spoke with yesterday.
Does the commission have any other questions about stormwater permitting, erosion in
Yeah.
general?
I have one quick question. I see it might relate to the stormwater, but I see on this, the map that you have a proposal to change to a 24-inch culvert across the town road. Is that,
Not across the town road.
that's not the town road?
Uh,
Okay,
The culvert that we're referencing there is actually an existing culvert that is underneath the driveway, for the buildings, to the buildings.
Okay,
That culvert actually, conveys water that comes across the road, comes across Waterman Road and towards the highway. So it actually conveys that underneath the driveway, so it doesn't flood out.
okay,
We're going to improve that to help with general water flow throughout the site.
Want to move on to 1G?
Sure,
And the
1G.
agency's comments, and particularly address the agency's comments with respect to 1G,
Yes.
which is wetlands.
Yeah, and so at the time of this application, and even until we got this comment, we were not aware of the wetland project. It didn't, as far as I could see, didn't come up in the A&R Natural Resources Atlas, unless I missed it. That being said, Dan did have a wetland survey done, was it 23?
Oh, yeah.
2023, before he submitted this application, and the wetland scientist that went out, determined that there was no wetlands on the site. So that's what we were basing our information on.
And how would you respond to what do you plan to do about the agency's comment?
Dan actually has already submitted, to Rebecca Chalmers, the wetland ecologist,
Okay.
the email correspondence with the wetland scientist indicating that he found no wetlands.
Okay.
We will await additional feedback from Rebecca.
Any questions about wetlands?
Only question, you had some PVC pipes out in the corners. What are those indicate?
Oh, those were for, looking at, for our stormwater work.
Okay,
So in our initial look at stormwater treatment, because we qualify for that, and we are over the half an acre threshold of impervious surface being added. We need to do stormwater treatment. So what we need to do at the beginning of each project is look at soils and where groundwater is, to determine what type of treatment we can use on the site. In this case, our best case scenario was a gravel wetland, which is kind of that large square area, right around where it says W4 on the plan. And that would be our gravel wetland as our treatment. The pipes themselves were going to be for infiltration testing, which we didn't end up doing because we found groundwater was a little bit shallower than anticipated.
Any other questions about wetlands and 1G? Before we move on, maybe Gio, did you have anything that you wanted to say about wetlands and stormwater?
No.
So the next one is so 148 aesthetics.
Yep.
Was it 4 too?
Well,
Or it's
for
the same,
stormwater,
it's
yeah.
a construction stormwater permit.
So,
And
but,
again-
so there's a lot of overlap between 4 and 1B,
Okay.
and here it's almost entirely
Wanted to double
overlapping.
check. Just actually on the soil erosion, I will note that we did include with our plan set here a erosion control plan and details, which is a little bit further down.
Do you want me to go to that?
I don't remember exactly which sheet it was. I think it might be 8 or 9.
I've got a quick reference here, possibly.
Yeah, I grabbed my big reference. That one right there. That was a sheet. Sheet 7 and 8,
Okay,
just indicating what type of erosion control practices we would use. On scenic beauty, we realize that Vermont is known for its landscape. However, on this site and the fact that there is already existing storage buildings there, it seems to lend itself to continuing to be able to utilize the site as it is. If there is concerns about the visual aspect of it, I would imagine,
I can
Dan,
expand on that a
you
little
can
bit.
confirm for me, that, we could do some vegetation around the outside, some trees to kind of screen that visual, from the highway, from abutting landowners or such things. But if Dan would like to address that a little bit more. it sounds like he
Yeah.
does.
Absolutely. The answer to the question, what will be done to reduce visual or aesthetic impacts? The architectural style of the buildings will either match the existing or whatever the board suggests for to maintain the, the beauty of the area. Lighting will be fully shielded downward facing. Where needed, we will include landscaping to maintain visual buffering from the road or neighboring properties. Whatever's necessary.
I'd also note our aim is to not cut any of the existing trees as well.
I don't know if this is the right time or not, but I object to the argument that the existing building is a reason to be able to build more there. The existing building bypassed the whole Act 250 hearing because the original owners sold off a piece of the property to make it less than 10 acres so that they could go ahead and bypass the whole commissioning thing. So it never really got reviewed whether it was okay to even build that building. So to use that it's already an existing facility there, is okay to build more, sort of irks me.
Also, having not been at one of these, I don't know when, you want me to just wait and save my powder to speak all at once, or I can speak to each thing individually, it
I
doesn't
think if
matter.
we keep everything to the topic that we're on, would be most helpful.
Okay, so
Continue the
you would like
scenic
me to speak to number 8?
8, if you would
Okay.
please.
So if you look at, it does have a pretty high visual impact. If you take I-89 and you drive throughout the Royalton stretch, you see farms, you see hills, you see the river. In fact, there's 2 views of both villages. One of the views was so dramatic that they actually put it on a TV program to start their TV program. That was long running. So it's got a really nice view shed. And then you'll come up as you start rising up out of the White River. What you see currently is you crest. There's trees on both sides. There's an industrial commercial area on Waterman Road that you cannot see because there's trees in the way. And then you kind of crest up, and then you got these open fields. And the first thing you'll see when you crest up is you'll see a bunch of storage buildings. Now, there are some storage buildings there. There's only 4. We're talking about greatly expanding that. So it does impact the beauty of the area. Without having driven it again, it's going to be multiple years before any kind of tree can cover it, if it can cover it. And certainly you'll see it coming down the opposite way. There's no way they can cover it there because of the other landowners. So I don't think just planting trees will be sufficient cover.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, yep.
Just to be clear, it's gonna be done in phases and it's gonna be determined by the need with the first phase. So the first phase is only gonna be 4 buildings. I don't want anybody to feel like this is gonna be 8 more buildings thrown on that beautiful piece of property, all at once. That's not how this is gonna.
But eventually it will.
No, I think that's all to be determined, but, there's a need for more storage in this area. It's just gonna bring, it's just gonna help this town. It's gonna,
How is it gonna help us out?
the need for storage, far exceeds the, availability of storage in this area. I have a market study that I can get everybody, I got a hard copy with me, but I'm happy to, make sure everybody gets a PDF of that. But,
Maybe it'd be helpful, could you show which phase is first?
the one, the 4 next to the existing.
The north face.
So
Yeah.
these,
Yes.
but you're applying for this whole project with this application, right?
Because it's a 2-acre parcel of land, I had to enact, Act 250. Because it's, when I first purchased this property, it was 2 separate parcels. It was 0.9, which is where the 4 existing buildings are, and then it was 1.1 on the south side. And when I closed on the property, the town made it 1 parcel, 1 2-acre parcel.
I'm sorry, I hope you don't mind if I just
Please
ask
do.
a couple
Yeah,
clarifying
I'm sorry, I
questions.
did
'Cause
not introduce,
I'm Stephanie
Stephanie
Guile.
Guile.
I'm really just, I'm a coordinator that's just helping, to
Mhm.
facilitate this part of it. And so I just thought that, help, if I didn't understand something, then maybe some other people have the same kind of questions was all. And on that note, actually, is this the best plan to show the property lines? Because I think if you're talking about landscaping, you should see how much room you have. Is this
I'll defer to Chris with that, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's.
so where's the property line, just so?
The
is this-
property lines are actually outlined in blue there, the light.
So this, you have no, well, the commission
There's no
should
buffer.
determine if there's any
There-
buffer, I
there's
guess,
no-
There's
to
very
do
little
any
buffer.
planting.
And we'll be butting right up against the tree line that's there.
That's not your property. That's, right, because the tree line is the
The tree
right
line-
way probably for the interstate.
Yeah, the tree line is just on the right of way.
But you're right, Dave. Years it will take trees.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah, so as far as we're concerned, the planning commission, they're applying for 8 buildings. We're looking at 8 buildings. And to say that, well, we're only gonna build 4, we might build the other 4, it's an 8 building project. You don't put 8 buildings down, you're not gonna build 8 at some
Right.
point in time.
So I disagree with that.
Well,
That's,
I'm just stating my opinion, sir. So,
I think
yep,
Well,
I should
no, I mean,
clarify.
it's an application for all of the buildings,
Right,
right? So
exactly.
right,
Dan, you're gonna get out of this application as it stands now, approval for all. You are seeking approval for all 8 buildings. And your project is going to be approved or denied on the basis of the proposal. I understand what you're saying. You feel like you need to apply for both phases now for, because you own the 2.5 acres, but at issue in your application is the whole project. The phasing, you could only apply for part of it. So you could, resubmit plans that only show phase 1 and apply for phase 2 later, but that's not what you've done and that's not what we're considering.
well, then if that's gonna become an issue, then I can do that.
so again, as far as we're concerned, even building the 4 is an issue. So if we were only looking at 4 and not 8, still an issue. In terms of, this is not a visual aesthetic, but several times the applicant has talked about the need for storage in the area. So there's an old feed store in town that a guy bought. He was going to convert it into apartments. And he found out that he could not do that, and he is going to turn that facility into storage units. But that hasn't happened yet.
right. That's just-
It's on the same level as this. It's a scheme.
We're still talking, don't mean to interrupt, but that is information that maybe we could, that there's later, but we're talking about criteria 8 with the scenic beauty
Yeah.
part of it. So,
Um, I don't personally know Trockty, the building manufacturer, but I do know that they have multiple different combinations of building styles, building colors. If we propose something not white and green like it's there now that stands out, if we propose something that blends in a little bit more with the general background, would that be acceptable to the commission and the abutters and statutory parties? Because that is something that is possible.
We really have to see what that would look like.
I can get you something, like a cupola, look like a barn, we can.
We'd have to see what that would look like.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes either.
that's fine.
That's a fair way to do
We
it.
want to try and make this, a solution that everybody is happy with. And I know there are options that these companies can do. We just haven't explored those in full yet. If needed.
Yeah,
We'll
just
do that.
where we are in the process, again, so we're reviewing this application, right?
Mhm.
There are a number of ways we can proceed, given the nature of the conversation you've been having so far, and some of the ideas that I'm hearing you say. But still, today, all we have is what we have in the application so far. So one possibility is if you guys want to take some time to talk and see if you can come up with some sort of arrangement, if there's a way for you guys to come to some agreement, we could do that now. We can give you extra time. Well, we're going to have a recess period after this hearing ends today, where we're going to give all of the parties a chance to submit any additional evidence, plans, and arguments. And so we could build in some additional time to give you a chance to sort of negotiate with each other, if you want, and then get back to us. The commission's going to want to do this as efficiently as possible, so we don't want to have another hearing.
I just have one question. When you talk about, who are you referring to exactly, Peter? You talking to the owner and the engineer, or the town
Right,
as
so
well?
I'm talking to the owner and the engineer in part to think about their application and how they want to proceed with their application. And this is what we have.
Mm-hmm.
The recess period that I've just described, it lends itself to some, I would say minor changes. But when it comes to wholesale changes, I don't think it lends itself very well to that. But I'm also addressing the town and the dumbbells. If you want to take an opportunity to talk to the applicant and the engineer about other options, this might be a time to.
Sure, I'm more than happy to do
You
that.
can take a break and you guys can do that right now if you want. It's all up to you guys.
Yeah, I got 8 other people behind me, so I can only speak for
course.
what we've already discussed, so
Yeah,
I can't.
And what you've written,
Yeah,
presented here.
I can't really go
That's
beyond that.
understandable.
I can hear what their ideas are and relay them, but
Mhm.
I can't make any decisions.
That makes sense.
What do you think, Stephanie? Do you have any suggestions at this point?
Yeah, I think we should go through the criteria
Yeah.
and then at the end.
I was gonna say, because number 10 is a big criteria for us. and
Yeah.
Even the building
Mhm.
design doesn't solve number 10 for us.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
But
Any
let's
other,
not
anything
move away
else?
from 8 before we,
Any other comments on to add to the discussion on the scenic beauty? Criterion number 8.
I'll just reiterate, we're willing to work with that and provide additional information to help.
Okay. All right. That, I'm sure everyone heard that.
Yeah.
So we go on to 9B, Peter?
Yeah.
Is that your list?
double check, but I think so. NB, then 9L, then F.
Okay. Just what the heck. Okay, 9B is primary agricultural soils.
So we had concerns there too, because these are listed as prime ag soils. And they'll, once you put concrete and gravel down, they're no longer prime ag soils.
And I know most everyone understands that, but prime ag soils are determined by A&R, is that correct? Or some state agency that,
Ag, yeah.
that agriculture,
And did you see that there was an email from Ari Rockland Miller from?
I got it this morning. I hadn't had a chance to go through it.
we never had a chance to see it.
The gist of it was that, you know, who had reached out, Dan had reached out to the Agency of Agriculture, Food and Markets, about it, and basically had agreed to an offsite mitigation plan. And his comments were, he still agrees to that offsite mitigation. The agency would, it's hard to summarize. The agency.
Do you want to forward it to me and I can put it up? Should we? Because it's not on the database, I see.
No, I haven't, I don't think any of us have
No,
seen
we
it
haven't
yet.
seen it.
All right, well, maybe it's worth,
Yeah,
You
let's put it
think-
up. That's a great idea.
Yeah, thank you. You would please.
Oh, hey, you know what?
was it not distributed?
It was not distributed, so I am not going to, and I was,
Okay,
never mind.
all right.
Did I'll have to remind Ari, so in order for the commission to, we talked about ex parte communications, in order for the commission to, see, evidence, take testimony or arguments, because this is a public process, everyone has to be copied on everything.
Mhm.
And the filing from, Ag this morning was not copied on everybody.
Yeah.
So it's not properly filed yet. But did I say correctly that you had talked to Ag,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Yeah,
you had
that's
agreed to
double
offsite
Yeah.
mitigation? Okay.
Well, you could read the applicant can choose to enter that as testimony and read it to everybody.
Yeah, if you want to go
If
ahead and
you
read
want.
that, into the record.
You'll still get it distributed in paper.
Yeah, I'm
but-
sure Ari will
But for now-
distribute it
But
properly.
for now,
But I can't get. Surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, just what they're talking about is, this is the email, the memo that we talked about that we received yesterday. And the list of parties that this went to is listed on the page. This one from the Department of Agriculture has not gone through that process yet. It's gone to you and to the applicant.
Yeah, I'm
So-
not former engineer, sorry. That's a rough.
Yeah.
You want me to read it? Is that what I'm doing here?
If you want to, yeah.
If you think it'd be helpful to you.
Okay, sure. This is from Ari Rockland Miller. The agency appreciates the applicant's pre-app outreach in 2024. Provided there have been no revisions to the plans, the agency continues to accept the assertion that the proposed PAS impacts, as outlined in the below review summaries, total 1.1 acres, warranting 2.2 acre mitigation with the applicable multiplier. I'm not sure I understand what that means. That's what I'm.
Okay.
Got an
That's what they
engineer
say.
sitting right there.
Yeah, I can fill you in on
Okay.
that.
The most recent applicable offsite mitigation cost per acre in D3 is $3,120 per acre, subject to future revision based on recent VHCB closings. The agency appreciates the pre-app outreach in the context of 9B and having filed the PAS plan exhibit as reviewed. The agency will not be in attendance at today's hearing, so would be happy to provide any additional info or filing in response to a hearing recess order if any more info is needed for 9B. Please let me know if there are any questions or anything else I can provide at this time. I know it.
And so, yeah, if you want to, why don't you go first?
Sure. So with the prime ag as shown on the plan here, they give a rating to the primary agricultural soils. And what happens is based on that rating, the fee that he mentioned, the per acre fee
2 to
he
1,
mentioned,
yeah.
has a multiplier to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And so that's what he was referring to.
Okay, I do remember that conversation, and yes, I was aware of that.
And so you would be paying a fee of that amount, 3,000, whatever.
3,120 per acre,
Yeah.
totaling 6,864.
I was aware of that, yeah, we had talked about that.
Okay, if anybody wants to see, I see that in the Du Bois and King plans, it's sheet number 1 is the prime agricultural soil plan.
It's a separate exhibit.
Okay.
Oh,
That was submitted.
it was separate? Okay.
It was
Oh, that's
separate,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's exhibit 6.
right there.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe you could help us, understand it now
Yes.
by pointing out
So
what the,
the light blue in the upper northeast corner is pre-existing impacts to the prime ag soils from before those original buildings were built. The impacts being discussed in Ari's email are the ones directly related to the building, as well as the indirect impacts to the parcel. The indirect impacts basically indicate to us that there is less than a quarter acre contiguous that would be usable for ag soils after. So that also had to be included in our calculations. And the direct impacts, sorry, are the dark blue, and the indirect are the yellow around the outside.
okay, so the town?
Good, just effectively, there'll be nothing left of that field. That's all.
Okay,
And I assume the money goes to, conservation use, like they'll buy and
Yes.
preserve
Yes,
Somewhere else.
another parcel.
that's what the agency.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Yeah.
hey, Rod or Suzanne, do you have any
No, we're all set.
questions on anything we talked about so far?
What is the footage from, the land associated with 89 north and the edge of the land for the buildings?
The edge of where we're
Your
where we're
proposed new,
disturbing, or from the
the
edge
building
of the
itself,
roadway?
the
From the
building
building
itself to the
It's probably about 40 feet
40
to the
feet.
building itself,
From,
I think. I don't have my scale on me, so I couldn't do that.
To the highway?
from the, from the,
From
that
the,
out, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm talking from the right of way, so
right,
from the
okay.
highway property line,
Yeah,
to
To
the
the
building.
buildings, yes.
I believe it's about 40 feet.
40 feet.
I would have to take my scale to it, but I did not bring it,
Okay,
unfortunately.
thanks.
Mhm.
Seems like it's a lot more than that.
You're talking from the paved area of 89 to your property line. What is that? Do you know about
The paved area of 89, so
Yeah.
the highway to the
the
property.
north lane,
Oh.
just to give us an
That I do
idea?
not know. That's
Perspective.
probably 100
Yeah.
feet. That's probably at least 100 foot right away from the edge of the pavement.
To
But
your
again, I
property
have
line,
not,
which is
I have
very
not
close to,
specifically measured
No.
that value.
I just
But
curious,
Mhm.
and we don't have a ability to scale it.
only about 100 feet.
So anything else on prime ag?
Well, here's this. Does this help? Eyeball?
Okay,
Yeah, I think, I just quickly did it with my fingers here, and, you know, however perfectly that is, it's probably close to what I said.
So 40 feet, you're talking about
From,
right.
here to here?
well, actually, I was looking at the very closest parcel, the very closest part from here
Mhm.
to this building. Obviously, that's phase 2.
Oh,
but
from the
if
building
we're-
or the
if we're
pavement?
considering-
Which were you on?
He said the building.
The
She said
building.
the building.
building.
The building,
Okay.
yeah.
building, not the parking area or the driving area, is the concrete where the
This end of
foundation
the
would be.
building.
Yes, she asked about the building.
Right.
Yeah.
You're asking the distance of the building from the highway,
Mhm.
not Waterman
It's
Road.
probably 100,
Yes,
Yeah.
the highway, right.
probably 140 feet.
And then you're, whether you develop that second, set of four, it's an incremental thing on your part.
Explain it to me.
Incrementally, like you would do, you're proposing to do the first set of four
Yes.
before you ever go down to that other
Right,
second
yeah,
set.
and it's all gonna be based on, need, in the lease up of the first floor building.
Okay, any other questions about criteria 9B? Or comments? Should Okay, now in line is 9L, which is settlement pattern.
So we on the planning commission see, this is actually the issue. This is what we're talking about. Because if you go down, Waterman Road is the road there, right here. And if you head down Waterman Road, not too far, you'll find in the town plan, it states that as sort of a office, commercial, industrial use, and that's what, indeed what's going on down there. There's a transfer station, a sawmill, the supervisory union has its offices. There's also a plastics manufacturer there.
Mhm.
As you head up the hill, as you head up Waterman Road, it distinctly changes in the town plan and becomes agricultural rural is the designation. And I'm trying to get a digital copy. Actually just popped out to ask Andrew,
Yeah,
Ryan, if he can get me a digital copy. I only have a paper copy. Believe it or not, we're trying to find a digital copy of that map.
You can find a pretty close approximation.
That'd be great.
To what you're looking for.
Yeah, I was able to find it.
Yeah, no, I don't know why we can't find a digital copy for some reason here in the town offices, but we're having trouble.
Okay.
But I think that would be good, great, very instructive to bring that up.
Hang on, Gio. Let's get it.
you said,
Well, tell me what to,
Go
what's
to,
up.
go to the Two Rivers Ottaquechee, website,
Oh,
is where I would go, and then go to Royalton. Go, yep. And scroll down to, map 2, and the green below there, the documents and maps.
Current land use or future
yeah.
man?
Map two.
Future land use map. And then scroll. Want to get to here.
Let me zoom in.
Yeah. I like going into later, yeah. Keep going down.
There it
Going
is.
down. Okay, here we go. And so Geo,
Yep, that's perfect. Yep,
Yeah.
this is our parcel.
Yep.
All of this, and I think this is what you're referring to.
yep. So this is really actually instructive. Thank you for being able to grab that one. I couldn't. So the parcel in question is right here, right? And as you come up on the interstate, that I'm explaining why this is listed as it's listed. As you come up from the interstate, this is all treed. Can't see this, and as soon as you kind of break up, you can kind of see the landscape. You got a farm over here, you got open land. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks.
By the way.
That is now suddenly it changes its designation
And that's
to become agricultural rural.
that 10, it splits a parcel, actually.
Yeah, I
Buses,
don't know if that's quite accurate. It is. Yep, I guess it is.
but the,
Yep.
Tan and the beige.
piece of property we're talking about right now is that little parcel.
Those-
It's actually
shown
both
as
together.
two- It's shown as two parcels right
Showing
there.
us two parcels, oh, those two together, okay.
Those
Now
are
I
the two
understand.
that were,
Right.
that became one when Dan bought the.
Okay.
bought the property.
Got it.
So
Okay.
the point is, it's very instructive, is
Mhm.
it was thought out. Somebody said, oh, once you get up above there, the character changes.
Mhm.
And so we're looking at Act 250, and it talks a lot about sprawl, talks a lot about strip development. That's exactly what we're encouraging. If we say, okay, we already have a couple of buildings there that got around the whole Act 250 process. And so what we'll do is we'll just say that's okay. So we'll just bring it all up. So if we bring that up to here, then effectively that makes that, well, how could we possibly stop someone from doing something there? And then the Dunville's property, which is right here, well, that kind of falls into there too. So, well, then since we've already done that, let's just keep creeping up
Right.
there.
Creep.
Well,
So
Yeah.
we see this as
Yeah.
we think this is the crux of the question here, because what you have is an industrial, sort of an industrial type area here, commercial industrial, and an argument being, well, we're so close and we already have a couple buildings there, let's just move it on up.
but the Dunville property would never qualify for what you just said,
Rod?
that type of development, because it's in the land trust.
But one
So
might
that
make
would
that
never-
argument for the lands up above that are not. So once we've started that slippery slope, when does it stop?
As in your, town zoning regulations, there are
We
certain
don't have
things
zoning
you
here.
don't have, that is,
Welcome to the
okay,
Wild West.
no.
We're
You're
working,
okay.
we're
I'm
working on
sorry,
it.
I didn't realize that. Okay, then that would have been something to discuss, but seeing you don't, I understand.
Rivers.
I don't understand why we don't, but
A lot
People
of,
voted a long time ago.
a lot of towns don't have
Yeah,
zoning.
there are quite a few.
just a few towns don't. I mean, well, we don't even have a subdivision ordinance.
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are other
Planning
towns that
commission.
I'm familiar with, but there's a lot of towns that do have it too. So that's what, so these were designated. How were these different zones? Were they just done by a state agency?
No, we did it.
You did it, So you
We have
could
a
do
town
this,
plan, we
the
just did
town
it.
plan,
I
Okay.
think it's 2020, it got approved by the town, voted on by the
of
town.
course.
And
Yeah.
Two Rivers.
And Two Rivers,
Rivers-
yep, Two Rivers
Rivers-
approved it as well.
They helped put it together, correct?
Was that?
They helped you guys put it together?
Yes,
Yeah, they
yes.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a grant and then we hired someone from Two Rivers to help us
Mhm.
draft it.
Mhm.
And voted on by the town. And so
Yeah.
we were the ones, the planning commissioners were the ones who went through the map and did this. We did not change this from the previous plans.
Okay,
I remember we didn't make any changes here. So this has been on the map for a while like this.
Mhm.
I guess what Dan and I were thinking on this is while there is a, designation that this is residential agricultural, again, I know the folks over here, and I apologize, I can't remember your last name, Dunville. I know you don't really like the argument, that there are existing buildings here. We are not necessarily violating any zoning issues, because there is no zoning. And we think that rather than somebody coming in and taking maybe an untouched parcel, one that already has storage on it is still useful. And I know what we're asking is spreading that zone out just a little bit. But whether it went through the Act 250 process or not, it's still there. And I just don't see why we couldn't have the argument that, given the need around central Vermont, that we couldn't continue to expand on this parcel a little bit, rather than maybe coming up with a brand new parcel somewhere else.
So given this is the third time I've heard the word need for storage buildings.
Right.
Well,
I'm not disputing that
It's
there's a
hard to
need.
understand because there are storage facilities going up everywhere.
Yeah,
There was one in Hartford 2
Yeah.
years ago, which was
Well,
expanded.
But they
You're-
do ruin the scenic.
You're exactly right, that the applicant has said that he's done a marketing study and things like that. And
So-
maybe after we finish the criteria, we could go back to touch on that
okay,
in all fairness.
okay.
Okay. Anything else about this map is very helpful?
Yeah, I just think that there was an artful term, instead of using scrawl or strip, spread
Mhm,
was used. So,
mhm.
it's the same thing. That's what's happening.
Great.
Any other questions on criterion 9L? I have one quick one.
I won't just
Just-
that there isn't creep on there. But at the same time,
It is creeping.
it's already crowded, and having that there, I'm not sure why it
Yeah.
wasn't necessary. I understand the tree line and the tree coverage, but in my opinion, it probably should have just been included.
It's like a race between solar panels and storage units.
Yeah.
If any of you are heading out of here and you're going north, which I don't think any of you are by where you said you live, but you would see it from the interstate. You would see,
No.
all of a sudden you come up and say, oh, it's all open up here.
Oh, yeah. We're Vermonters.
Yeah.
We've been
So
on that.
and now you'll come up and say, oh, storage buildings. Nice.
There's already a pretty established tree line between the highway and the existing buildings. If you go to Google Earth and type in 705 Waterman Road, and you bring the little man down on the highway there, it gives you that whole, you can see that whole spread all the way up and down, what's that called, Purple Heart Highway there?
Yeah, but you don't control that. You don't control
No, I'm
that.
just telling you, it would give
Mhm.
everybody in a room here, if you could get it up on the,
I know, but V-Trans can cut those trees at any time. You don't control those trees. So you have to,
point.
we're just looking at what you control for landscaping.
Mhm.
Because anytime V-Trans could come through there, clear that all out. I see what you mean, that it's existing, but you have to think about what do you have control over or not.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure. I think some of that is on Dan's land.
Do you want to go back to the,
V-Trans clears right up to their fence line. and
do you
then
want me to go back? Which
That's why I
one do you want me to
question I
show
asked.
that's your,
No, I think they're proposing, we can do it, go into, Google
Five.
Street View.
oh, well, I'm just saying Google Street View
No,
is
we
gonna
can
show.
go to exhibit 5.
Okay.
And so this tree line here, and
Oh,
apologies that I have to- this tree line, this fencing here is actually existing V-Trans fence.
Mhm.
Obviously it's showing a little bit onto Dan's property, or VCGI is a little bit off.
Mhm.
But the tree line is right on it, and I know, looking at it and having been there, there are trees that sit on Dan's side of the fence. And so I would think that V-Trans can't cut those.
They're bushes.
There's trees
They're
there.
bushes, not trees.
Well, you could supplement the record if you wanted to show those
Mhm.
with the
It's-
description.
Whether there's trees there or not, that, when you come up and you're driving,
Mhm.
the visual is there. So whatever trees are there are currently not blocking anything.
And I have a question. I don't know if I know how to word it exactly, but regarding back to the settlement pattern, for 9L, that tan section, which is the Waterman Road Industrial, area, that does not go up to this property. Now, in order for them, if they think that it should be, how could that ever happen? That that these, would be redesignated to, to include that property if it ever could.
Yeah, well,
That go through a whole process, right?
well, every 7 years we rewrite the plans. So in another couple of years, we'll be rewriting it. I mean, Dan could ask to have that designation changed.
I just wanted
And
to
then the
talk about this
Yeah,
because
we could also
it's
do it.
not just the,
At this point, there's just no way for us to ask for a variance or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't have a, we
don't
don't,
use zoning rules.
we don't have a process. That's
Okay.
exactly right.
And that's-
okay,
I think that's where.
We don't have that. We'd
And
have to change that
only-
and go to the voters and
Yeah.
ask them for
that's the
permission to change
only
plan.
process or way or something that could be included.
Welcome to the Wild West.
Yeah. So, okay, we're having a lot of good discussion here, thank you. Anybody else on 9L?
So,
Oh, that's-
This is why.
Okay, let's go to criteria 10, which is the local regional plans.
Yeah, so that's us again. The application does make an error when it says that we don't have a duly adopted plan.
There's a,
That is corrected. I did
Okay.
submit,
Okay.
we did submit additional wording.
Okay.
on that.
Mhm.
I figured that was,
Noted that we did do that.
Yeah, and I'm not too upset by that. But the town plan clearly, this is clearly not our wishes as a town. It doesn't fit in with the rural character of the neighborhood, and basically it would call into question, why do we have a town plan in the first place? I know the state mandates you have to have them. I actually believe in town plans. And in this particular case, it'd be like, oh, you have a town plan, but we're just not gonna listen to that. We'll do whatever we want. And it wouldn't sit well with town folk that we have a town plan that was ignored.
Any other comments?
Good point.
You know, a lot of the discussion we had about the settlement pattern goes back to a similar argument, for this town plan. Yes, we have the plan. Again, we understand that there are certain reasons that they are done. But I think it seems like, given existing uses, maybe an exception could be made. And sometimes, you know, every 7 years, you guys are gonna look at this plan, and sometimes plans change. And that's not to say that the intent is to blow up the plan completely. But I would say you're looking at making adjustments, and I think this property, you know, could be subject to that adjustment.
And that was the nature of the conversation that we did have as a planning commission, was all around exactly what you talked about. This is close, you know, it's already got a couple pre-existing buildings. We recognized all that. Still felt with everything else that you heard me say today, that it's not in the interest of the town plan to have this go through.
That's the last of the criterion. Okay, and I did promise Mr. Reed that we've heard the word need, and people have wondered how you come up with that, and in all fairness, we'd like that.
I'm not wondering how he comes up with that. I'm not questioning whatever
Okay.
marketing survey he did to find that. I accept that.
No, I hired an outside firm.
Yeah, and I totally
Okay.
believe that. And I don't need to see that, because I'm not going to question that. I'm just because there's need doesn't mean this is the location.
Okay,
There's other places in town that you could build such facility. And like I said, there's already a fellow who's planning on building such a facility in the village of South Royalton. He hasn't started yet. As far as I know,
He won't be able to start if I get these built.
no.
Because it'll
That's
blow
great.
the index out.
And that very well might be, so we might have a horse race here. I don't know. I'm not getting in the middle of you two. That's not my business. I'm just saying that just because there's a need
right.
doesn't mean that this is the place.
If there's such a need, and there's one in Royalton and up here. No, it's storage units all over the place.
Okay, I just made that promise, and I wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance, that wanted to have a chance. So,
I mean, if he wants to present it, I'm fine with that, but I accept
It's
whatever
a
you have.
55-page document.
I accept whatever you have.
I will.
I'm not questioning it.
okay,
Have
All right.
everybody access to it.
we're gonna give you yet another bite of the apple.
okay.
Okay.
I got you.
So,
All right,
at this point, we're going to go on to number 6 here.
go ahead.
Peter?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to thank you all for participating, and the commission will reflect on the evidence and testimony presented today. Next, the commission may issue a hearing recess order, which keeps the record open for a time. Typically, the hearing recess order asks the applicant and sometimes other parties to submit supplemental information in response to the questions that were raised today, and allow the parties an opportunity to respond to those supplemental findings. Once that process is complete, the commission will consider the record to be final. Once we have all the supplemental information that we need, however, we will deliberate and issue our decision as expediently as possible. If there's no further comment, the hearing is now recessed. Thank you very much. And
before we go off the record, for a little housekeeping, there will be a recess order. And I, tried to keep track of the items. So, the items that I think I saw were, if I can read my notes, just bear with me. It's just helpful if we talk about it now, so everyone knows what's coming. I don't understand what that is. So, all right, so, I think an opportunity for you to submit a revised plan depicting existing trees, the existing tree lines, and any proposed landscaping that you want to propose. Okay. That's not going to be required. That's for you to decide if you want to do. But we did hear you guys talk about that quite a bit today.
And under that, excuse me, Peter,
Yeah.
but that would go, you talked about the design of the buildings too. That would go under that. As well as,
Right, so if you have any changes to what you're proposing with respect to the design of the buildings, you could do that too. A copy of that report that you referenced.
Yeah.
You should file that. It's come up several times in conversation, so that should be in the evidence, okay? I guess that's it. I guess everything was related to that. I had a note next to the wetlands part of the conversation I can remember.
Can I read you my list? Would that
Yeah,
be helpful? And then
thank
you
you.
could say, as the note taker.
As the note taker.
Yes.
So the construction general permit,
Yeah, obviously.
you said you did a 2023 wetland review.
Yes.
And then, so that plus the comment letter from Rebecca Chalmers to close out that inquiry.
Right.
Can I say it a little differently? So
Yeah.
either a wetland permit or something from Rebecca that says you don't need one, right? So
I
either,
think she said it was still under review because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just had that correspondence with her yesterday.
but just to be clear, so Rebecca's gonna get back to you and they're gonna say, yeah, I agree with your expert. Or she's gonna say you need to get a wetland permit and you're gonna need to do whatever she says. Or you can argue, but that's basically where we're at. Go ahead.
Your planning commission, your letter.
Oh, we got that. He
Yeah.
gave it to us.
I
and
emailed
he
We're
emailed-
gonna do it. He emailed,
he
okay.
emailed it. Yep, he did that.
Ari Rockland Miller's email,
I
if
will
he doesn't
follow up.
distribute it,
I
you can always distribute it too,
Did
though.
you get a copy of that, Pete?
I did, but I'm gonna ask Ari to file it.
Okay, because the applicant could do it too.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then that was it, the landscaping plan and the design plan.
Perfect. All right, so you're gonna get a recess order with that list of things.
You're gonna give me a summary of everything we're talking about, right?
And then I'm gonna leave it to you. The one other piece of housekeeping business is there was quite a bit of conversation about how you might change your plan to accommodate some of the concerns you heard. I'm gonna leave it to you guys to talk, okay? We'll probably give you a month to give us the, does that sound reasonable for the recess order list?
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you need more time, let me know. In that period of time, I would encourage you guys to talk.
We're in December, not a lot's gonna happen.
I think you're gonna get started now. I do understand that you're gonna get started. But I do also want to give you time to, if you can work something out.
Sure, I appreciate that. Yeah.
And then the recess order will also give, it'll have a deadline to get for that, and there will be a rebuttal deadline. So if you see something that they file that you don't agree with, then you'll have a chance to respond, okay? And if there was anything that you were required to file, then they would have a chance to respond to that too, but I don't see anything like that. Here, okay? Sound good?
Quick question.
Go ahead.
go ahead.
How many days notice do you give us? I mean, because we are going away.
So,
And if there's another meeting, I would like to be here.
right. I do not anticipate that there will be another meeting. There will be no other meeting. The only reason there would be another meeting is if the plan changes so dramatically that the commission has to come back in and start over again. And nobody wants that. And the commission would have to decide if they wanted to do that. So I can't say I can't say it's an absolute certainty that that won't happen, but nobody wants that. That's not gonna
Unlikely.
sound good.
You can ask for extra time if you're on vacation, if you have 2 weeks, if.
Yeah, but you gotta
commission-
send notices to every single person on that list, right?
You can.
Well, we do it
Or
really
another-
informally, so you could do it by email. If you were asking for more time and you're asking the commission for more time, you can do that by email. You send an email to, really you should send it to that act250.springfield.vermont.gov if you have that email. And make sure it copies everybody, because that's the minimum that needs to happen in order for the commission to make a determination and see what you file.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we can work it out.
Thank you. The plans are very good, helped us really get an idea of
All right.
everything.
Can end the meeting.
Apologies that I